Welcome back for another deep dive into the news curated just for you. Today we got some interesting stories about self-improvement, some surprising health insights,
Yeah.
and even a little bit of reflection on those big life choices.
Yeah, it's going to be a really intriguing mix today. I think you'll find it both informative and thought-provoking.
Well, let's jump right in with a story about maximizing your day. This article, 3509, How to Have the Best Day Every Day in 60 Minutes, really caught my eye. Because it talks about a morning routine strategy that's used by some pretty high achievers, people like Barack Obama, Anna Wintour, and Mark Zuckerberg. So if it works for them, maybe there's something to it.
The core idea here is that how you spend that first hour really sets the tone for the rest of your day. Even small intentional actions can have a ripple effect on your productivity and your well-being. It's like priming the pump for success.
So instead of hitting snooze or, scrolling through social media first thing, imagine using that first hour to exercise, meditate, or tackle your most important task. What would your ideal 60-minute power morning look like?
That is a really great question to think about. Now, this next story takes a completely different approach to success. 3510, committing to no commitments. It sounds a little counterintuitive, but the author Colin Wright makes a really compelling argument for avoiding restrictive long-term commitments.
So it seems like he's advocating for a life of flexibility and spontaneity, kind of like a digital nomad who can work from anywhere and change course whenever they want. Is that the gist of it?
Exactly. He's really challenging that conventional wisdom that we have of locking ourselves into rigid career paths, relationships, or even geographic locations. And he encourages us instead to embrace change and make intentional choices in the moment, rather than feeling bound by obligations we made in the past.
It's a really thought-provoking philosophy. I can see how this approach might appeal to people who thrive on novelty and change. But could it also lead to a lack of stability and direction? What are your thoughts on that?
That's definitely a valid concern. And Wright acknowledges that this lifestyle isn't for everyone. He stresses the importance of self-reflection and honestly assessing your own needs and priorities before going all in on a no-commitments approach.
So it sounds like it comes down to really figuring out what areas of your life could benefit from more flexibility and which ones really thrive on that structure and commitment. Now, switching gears to a topic that affects millions of adults, we have this interesting article titled 11 Gifts for ADHD Adults They Will Love You For. It's all about finding practical gifts that can make a real difference in managing the challenges of ADHD.
Before we jump into those gift ideas, let's just touch on what ADHD is. For those who might not be familiar, it's a neurodevelopmental disorder characterized by difficulty with attention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. And these challenges can absolutely persist into adulthood, affecting work, relationships, and everyday life.
And the article does a great job of highlighting some common struggles that adults with ADHD face. It also offers some really thoughtful gift suggestions to help manage those challenges, like noise-canceling headphones to minimize distractions. That one really stood out to me.
Noise-canceling headphones can be a game changer for someone with ADHD who's easily overwhelmed by sensory overload. By reducing those auditory distractions, they can focus better and experience less stress. You might even know someone who would benefit from a gift like this, whether they have ADHD or just struggle with concentrating in noisy environments.
That's a great point. It's a reminder that some of these gifts can benefit anyone, not just those with ADHD. Now get ready for a bit of introspection. With this next article, 10 life choices you'll regret in 10 years. It explores those what-if moments that can kind of haunt us later in life.
Yeah, the article talks about some universal regrets, particularly those relating to relationships, like holding on to grudges, not expressing your feelings to loved ones, or letting fear hold you back from pursuing your dreams. These are the kinds of choices that can have a really lasting impact on our well-being.
It really makes you reflect on your own choices and whether you're prioritizing the things that truly matter. Have you ever had a similar experience, like a decision you made that you wish you could go back and change?
I think we all have those moments where we wonder what if and think about what might have been if we had taken a different path. But instead of dwelling on the past, it's much more productive to use those experiences as learning opportunities to guide our choices in the present and the future.
Absolutely. Learning from our past mistakes helps us make more informed decisions moving forward. Okay, time for a quick round of health news. First up, we've got some encouraging news from Study Finds Optimal Amount of Greens to Eat to Reduce Heart Disease Risk. Did you know that just 1 cup of leafy greens daily can significantly lower your risk of heart disease?
It's really amazing how such a simple dietary change can have such a big impact on heart health. Leafy greens are packed with all sorts of nutrients, like vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that help protect us against heart disease.
So make sure you're incorporating a variety of leafy greens into your diet. Spinach, kale, collard greens, romaine lettuce. The options are endless. Now for a surprising piece of advice from a gastroenterologist. The one ingredient to avoid in candy, a gastroenterologist explains, warns against consuming a specific ingredient. That's really common in candy.
The culprit here is high fructose corn syrup. It's a highly processed sweetener that's been linked to all kinds of health problems, including fatty liver disease and metabolic syndrome. So the expert recommends limiting candy intake in general. But if you do indulge, try to choose treats that use alternative sweeteners like honey or maple syrup.
That's definitely something to keep in mind next time you're reaching for a sugary treat. And finally, this last health news story caught my attention because it highlights something we often overlook: the impact of air quality on our brains.
You're talking about just 2 hours of this common exposure can cause cognitive decline, right? It reveals a pretty startling finding. Just 2 hours of exposure to traffic fumes can negatively affect our cognitive function. This study really emphasizes the importance of air quality, not just for respiratory health, but for brain health as well.
It makes you think twice about those long commutes in traffic-congested areas. Maybe it's time to explore some alternative modes of transportation, like cycling, or walking, or even advocating for better air quality measures in your city.
Those are great ideas. We should all be more mindful of the air we breathe and the impact it can have on our overall health.
Yeah, it definitely raises awareness about some of those hidden dangers that might be lurking in our environment. And speaking of things that can impact our well-being, this next story explores a topic that's often overlooked: the profound transformation that women undergo during motherhood.
We were talking about matrescence, the cellular science of the unself. That one really caught my eye because it seemed to go beyond the typical discussion of the physical changes of pregnancy and all of that. Exactly. This article from the Marginalian really delves into the cellular and psychological shifts that accompany matrescence, which is essentially the process of becoming a mother. And it highlights how this transformation goes way beyond just the physical realm. It impacts a woman's identity, sense of self, even her cellular makeup.
Wow. It sounds like a really fascinating exploration of the often unspoken aspects of motherhood. Now, for something a bit more practical, let's talk about those days when motivation is running low. We've got an article here called 10 Things to Do on Days When You Just Want to Give Up. That offers some helpful strategies for getting unstuck and, finding your mojo again.
The article emphasizes the importance of self-care, even when you feel like doing the exact opposite. Sometimes the best way to overcome a slump is to just acknowledge your feelings. Give yourself permission to rest and engage in activities that nourish your mind and body.
It's a good reminder that we don't always have to power through. Sometimes a little TLC is all we need to recharge and get back on track. Speaking of positive vibes, we've got a couple of stories that are sure to brighten your day.
Okay, first up, we have 170 positive Tuesday quotes for work, motivation, and a good morning and day. It's a whole collection of inspiring quotes to kickstart your week with a nice dose of optimism and encouragement.
It's like a virtual pep talk to get you through those Tuesday blues. And for those who are already dreaming of warmer days, we have 101 short spring quotes for your letterboard to welcome this happy season. Such a delightful collection of sayings to celebrate spring.
They really capture the essence of renewal, growth, and the beauty of nature reawakening after winter. They're perfect for adding a touch of spring cheer to your home or office.
I could practically feel the sunshine and smell the flowers already. And on a more practical note, as we transition into spring, a lot of us are looking for ways to save energy and reduce our environmental impact. Cut your energy bill. Simple changes for big savings. Offer some valuable tips for doing just that.
The article highlights some simple but effective strategies, like adjusting your thermostat, ceiling drafts, and switching to energy-efficient appliances. Small changes that can make a big difference in your energy bill and help reduce your carbon footprint.
It's a win-win for both your wallet and the environment. Now for those who are in the market for a new home. 5 things you need to coordinate when buying a property. Outline some key aspects to keep in mind during the whole home buying process.
The article stresses the importance of organization and careful planning. When you're purchasing a property, it's crucial to coordinate with all the different parties involved, from real estate agents and lenders to inspectors and movers, to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Buying a home can definitely be a complex and overwhelming process, so having a clear roadmap And a coordinated approach is so important. Speaking of journeys, for anyone planning a road trip this spring, How to Get Your Car Ready for a Road Trip provides a comprehensive checklist to make sure your vehicle is in tip-top shape before you hit the open road.
The article covers everything from checking your tire pressure and fluid levels to packing emergency supplies and making sure your insurance and registration are up to date. It's a must-read for any road trip adventurer.
Absolutely, safety first. Now let's dive into the world of business and marketing for a moment. Revealing the secrets of a viral event hashtag offers some valuable insights for creating buzz and engagement around your events using the power of social media.
The article highlights the importance of choosing a catchy and memorable hashtag that's really relevant to your event and promoting it widely across all your marketing channels. It also talks about how important it is to encourage interaction among attendees using that hashtag to build a sense of community and amplify the reach of your event.
It's amazing how a simple hashtag can have such a huge impact online, generating excitement and extending the lifespan of your event way beyond the actual event itself. Speaking of maximizing impact, the next article explores the power of video marketing in today's digital world.
The secret to using video for maximum impact and brand growth really delves into the effectiveness of video as a medium for capturing attention, building trust, and driving those all-important conversions. It offers tips for creating compelling video content that resonates with your target audience and helps you achieve those marketing goals.
It makes sense. In a world that's completely saturated with content, video stands out. It's such an engaging format, and you can convey a lot of information in a really concise and memorable way. And on the topic of information, the do's and don'ts of data management provides essential guidance for harnessing the power of data responsibly and effectively.
The article really emphasizes the importance of data security, accuracy, and ethical use. It's a good reminder that while data can be an incredibly powerful tool for decision-making and business growth, we need to handle it with care and always respect privacy concerns.
So it's all about finding that balance between leveraging the insights the data provides and safeguarding sensitive information. Now let's shift gears to personal development for a bit. You've got an article that explores the concept of flow state, that elusive state of deep focus and productivity that I think we all crave.
Flip the switch. Get to a flow state instantly. It offers some techniques for accessing that state of effortless concentration where time seems to fly by and you're totally absorbed in what you're doing.
Sign me up. What are some of the key strategies for achieving that flow state?
The article suggests things like eliminating distractions, setting really clear goals, and engaging in activities that genuinely spark your passion. It's about finding that sweet spot where your skills and the challenge level of the task are perfectly aligned.
So it's like finding that groove where everything just clicks and you're operating at your peak potential. I think we could all use a little more flow in our lives. And speaking of getting things done, we have an article that tackles the all-too-common problem of clutter.
Oh yeah, clear clutter quickly. 10 tips to help you let go. It gives some really practical advice for decluttering your physical space. And by doing that, clearing some mental energy as well. It emphasizes the benefits of a clutter-free environment, like reduced stress, increased focus, and a greater sense of peace and tranquility.
I'm feeling lighter already just thinking about it. Now, for anyone looking to boost their physical activity, we've got a couple of articles that offer practical and achievable ways to get moving more in your daily routine.
Step up your game. How to get motivated to walk every day. Give some great tips for establishing a consistent walking routine. And then these 13 sneaky hacks will help you burn more calories every day. Reveal some simple ways to sneak in extra steps and calorie burn throughout your day without having to make major changes to your lifestyle.
It's all about finding those little opportunities to move more, like taking the stairs instead of the elevator, walking during your lunch break, or even just fidgeting more throughout the day. And on a more introspective note, we have an article that explores the power of choosing our responses, especially in those challenging situations.
Choosing your response. It encourages us to become more aware of our emotional triggers and to make conscious choices about how we react, instead of just reacting impulsively.
It's a powerful reminder that we always have a choice in how we respond to life's ups and downs, even if it doesn't always feel that way in the moment. Now, for those who appreciate a good dose of wisdom from the world of sports, we have an article that draws some interesting parallels between golf and life.
Oh, enjoyable honesty. Life lessons from the golf course with Joel Suggs. It talks about values like integrity, resilience, and the importance of learning from both our successes and our failures, both on and off the golf course.
It's a good reminder that the lessons we learn through sports can often be applied to other areas of our lives as well, helping us navigate those challenges with more grace and determination. And for those interested in gut health, we've got an article that delves into the world of probiotics.
Not all probiotics help with bloat, but reviewers swear by this one. It offers some insights on finding the right probiotic for your individual needs. It emphasizes that not all probiotics are created equal, and certain strains are more effective for certain digestive issues.
So it's important to do your research and talk to a healthcare professional to figure out which probiotic is best for you. Now, for anyone looking to curb those pesky cravings, we have an article that reveals a surprisingly simple but effective strategy.
A functional MD's underrated hack to actually cut cravings. It really emphasizes the importance of gut health as a key factor in reducing cravings.
So by nourishing your gut with the right foods and probiotics, you can actually balance those hunger hormones and reduce those really intense cravings.
Exactly. It's about getting to the root cause of those cravings, rather than just trying to white-knuckle your way through them. Now let's move on to a couple of articles that offer practical tips for addressing some common skincare concerns.
All right, so what your under-eye wrinkles are telling you and how to smooth them. And women of all ages say this makes crepey hands look young and rejuvenated. They provide advice and product recommendations for achieving a more youthful and radiant look.
Both articles emphasize the importance of a consistent skincare routine that includes cleansing, moisturizing, and protecting your skin from the sun.
It's a good reminder that taking care of your skin is an investment in your overall health and well-being. And speaking of health, let's not forget about heart health.
Right. The heart health tests you didn't know to ask for but should highlight some important screenings that everyone should discuss with their doctor.
It's a good reminder that preventive care is so important for maintaining good heart health and catching potential problems early. Now, for all the protein powder enthusiasts out there, we have an article that offers some guidance on choosing a protein powder that's gentle on your stomach.
Does protein powder always upset your stomach? Try switching to this type. Suggest choosing protein powders that are hydrolyzed or made from plant-based sources because those tend to be easier to digest.
That's a great tip for anyone who experiences digestive discomfort after having protein powder. Speaking of things that can upset your stomach, we have some interesting insights on headaches.
Oh yeah. The sneaky triggers for morning and evening headaches. Yes, they're different. It reveals that morning headaches are often linked to poor sleep quality, while evening headaches can be triggered by stress, eye strain, and even certain foods.
So paying attention to your headache patterns and figuring out your personal triggers can really help you manage them better.
Exactly. Now, for anyone interested in the latest research on Alzheimer's disease, these microorganisms could help treat Alzheimer's. Steady finds share some promising new developments.
It talks about the potential of using specific microorganisms to target and reduce the buildup of amyloid plaques in the brain, which is a hallmark of Alzheimer's.
It's still early research, but it definitely offers a glimmer of hope for future treatment options for this devastating disease. Now, for those who enjoy a little cosmic insight, we have a few articles that explore the world of astrology.
All right, let's hear them.
We have the zodiac sign tends to have an anxious attachment style. These are the 3 fakest signs of the zodiac, and these 3 zodiac signs are the biggest procrastinators. They offer a fun, lighthearted look at the personality traits and tendencies associated with different zodiac signs.
It's always fun to see what astrology has to say.
And we also have these 3 zodiac signs will be most impacted by the new moon in Pisces, and what your zodiac sign needs to know for the new moon in Pisces, which provides some guidance on navigating the energies of this particular lunar phase.
So whether you're a firm believer in astrology or just enjoy reading your horoscope for fun, these articles offer an entertaining perspective on cosmic influences. And finally, for all the coffee lovers out there who hate those jitters, we have some tips for enjoying your daily cup of joe without those unwanted side effects.
3 ways to ease coffee jitters without giving up your daily cup. Suggest some simple strategies, like choosing half-caff, staying hydrated, and having your coffee with food to help slow down caffeine absorption.
It's all about finding that sweet spot where you can enjoy the energy boost without feeling jittery or anxious. And for anyone looking for healthy snack options, we've got an article that highlights snack pairings that support gut health and overall well-being.
These tasty, already-approved snack combos support gut health and so much more. Suggest combining foods that provide a good balance of protein, fiber, and healthy fats to keep you feeling full and satisfied between meals.
That's a great way to nourish your body and satisfy your taste buds without reaching for those processed snacks. And for those who take supplements, We have an article that offers some advice on how to store them properly, to maintain their potency and effectiveness.
Do you keep supplements in the fridge? Here's what the experts say. Provides tips on how to store different kinds of supplements to ensure their quality and prevent them from degrading.
It's a reminder that proper storage can really make a big difference in how well your supplements actually work. And last but not least, we have an article that raises awareness about a growing environmental concern: microplastics.
Oh. Research reveals microplastics in the brain. Here's what to do about it. It talks about this alarming presence of microplastics in so many aspects of our environment, our food, our water sources. And it discusses some of the potential health risks associated with microplastic exposure.
It's a real call to action to reduce our plastic consumption and support efforts to address this growing problem and protect both our health and the health of the planet.
Yeah, it's a real wake-up call, isn't it? Our choices have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for the whole planet. Wow, we covered a lot of ground today. From maximizing our mornings to the complexities of motherhood, confronting our regrets, even exploring the cosmos. Quite a journey.
It really is. And it's amazing how all these seemingly different topics are connected in some way. Reflecting just how multifaceted our lives really are, what stood out to you the most from today's deep dive?
You know that recurring theme of making intentional choices? That really resonated with me, whether it's creating a power morning routine, or deciding which commitments we want to make, or even choosing the right probiotic. Every decision we make shapes our experience and ultimately sets the course of our lives.
It is empowering to think that we have so much control over how our lives unfold through those choices we make every day, even the small ones. So as we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave you with a question. What's one small but meaningful change you can make today, inspired by something you learned here, that will put you on that path toward a richer, healthier, or more fulfilling life?
It doesn't have to be a huge change. Even a tiny step in the right direction can make a big difference over time.
That's so true. Well, thanks for joining us on this exploration of the day's most fascinating news. We'll be back tomorrow with another curated deep dive, ready to uncover more insights and spark your curiosity. Until then, stay informed and stay inspired.